Why do you want to get to know me?
I didn't.
You did.
Your team reached out to mine.
Don't cap. Let's not cap about that. Let's not flex for the gram.
It's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, I like the pressure though. I like the pressure. I like the underdog feel. Like you need that.
Crazy. Slide down, we turn up and then be all the way.
It appears tensions boiled over between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
When Offset performed at the 2019 BET Awards, a rendition of his collaborative song Clout with his wife Cardi B, his dancing garnered a lot of attention that wasn't exactly praise. Ironic considering the double standards highlighted recently in female and male rappers' live performances. Female rappers tend to put a considerable effort into set design, choreography, and outfit changes, while male rappers don't, with little to no criticism. In 2023, Offset led hip-hop's most ambitious and best album rollout. Rather than the usual Instagram announcement a week or two before release date, Offset spent weeks and months marketing his second studio album, Set It Off, profile pieces with GQ, Variety, and Chart magazine. Follow along with a sleepover with hip-hop's biggest streamer and a very viral podcast episode with Bobby Altoff. While the press didn't correlate to first week sales, it still was a massive triumph for a rapper who wasn't the most popular member in his group or even his marriage.
Say again?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
For rap consumers, our first introduction to Offset is through the rap group Migos. The group, which is synonymous with the Atlanta trap scene, actually grew up in the outskirts of the city's metropolitan area, Gwinnett County, Georgia to be exact, an enclave of middle-class suburbs north of Atlanta. During Offset's adolescent years, the county leaned more white in terms of racial makeup. From a 2000 U.S. Census, white residents made up 67% of the population, with a mix of African American, Asian, and Hispanic or Latino populations making up the second half. This seemingly pleasant environment doesn't reflect Offset's complex childhood. Offset's mom was college-educated, working in tech-related fields for most of her career. She encouraged Offset's entrance into the entertainment industry at an early age, Offset securing a spot as a background dancer in Whitney Houston's What You Looking At music video. There's not that much information on Offset's father's life, just that the relationship between the two was extremely strained. Offset's love of dancing comes from him. Speaking to Esquire magazine during the 2019 rollout for his first album, Father of Four, he mentioned losing his father to the streets at a young age. That same year, he shared to Instagram a picture of the two, stating they hadn't seen each other physically in 23 years, but had spoken on Offset's 12th birthday. In middle school, Offset met Takeoff and Quavo. Takeoff and Quavo grew up together and are blood-related, but all three have described their relationship as brothers. The three men formed their group Migos in 2008 after playing around with rapping, first acquiring some equipment to record and finding free music production software online. The Migos name represents their take on The Three Amigos, a 1986 American Western comedy film. When describing their relationship, Offset said in a 2017 The Fader interview, "A lot of groups, they get put together. We don't even think of each other as a group. I don't think I'm in a group of two other guys where I don't know their moms and their grandmas, they're their aunties, and I don't know where they came from. This is my immediate family. These are the only people I know. That's why we be around each other so much. I don't know nobody else."
My best gift for my brothers is my brothers. I wouldn't be here. None of us would be here without each other. We held each other up through hard times.
In the fall of 2022, Takeoff was fatally shot in Houston, Texas. When the news of his passing went viral, tributes filed in and the rapper was finally given his flowers. A shame considering Takeoff was the best rapper in the group, playing a crucial role in the Migos' triplet flow sound.
I don't know who created it, if it was Future or Migos, but all them niggas sound the same.
Frequently in musical groups, one individual is perceived as the star. They receive more fanfare and recognition despite the collaborative musical output. With the Migos, Quavo's ability to write catchy hooks and his auto-tune melodic voice made him a fan favorite. When each member ventured into their solo work, Quavo's debut album, Quavo Honcho, was the most highly anticipated. But after the release, it was clear that expectations were too high, and Quavo was the weakest member in the group. With OK Productions, Quavo's weak lyricism and lack of storytelling were finally front and center, and not disguised within his group. Offset and Takeoff, often overlooked, were easily better at lyrics, cadence, and flow. Their debut solo albums were much better received, with Takeoff's The Last Rocket the best. If you listen to the Migos' earlier work, it's hard to find a bad Takeoff verse. His ad-libs and wordplay are consistently good. Offset, a well-rounded mix of Takeoff and Quavo's standout talents. In his review for Father of Four, Pitchfork journalist Stephen Kearse wrote, "Though it's ultimately undermined by its inertia and lack of focus, the record offers glimpses of Offset as a compelling storyteller and bluesman. In public and private, Offset has had the rockiest ride of all the Migos. From his untimely jail bids to his stormy courtship, marriage, and separation from Cardi B, he's felt the white-hot intensity of the spotlight and the coldness of his absence. This turbulence has come to define his style, the torture menace to Quavo's glossy cool, and Takeoff's stone zen." 3 months before the release of his second studio album, Set It Off, Offset voluntarily dropped his 2022 lawsuit against his prior label, Quality Control Music. In the 2022 complaint, Offset argued Quality Control Music was wrongly claiming ownership of his solo projects despite a prior 2021 settlement that gave Offset sole ownership. When Offset's 2022 lawsuit initially went public, he and Pierre P. Thomas traded tense reactions on X, formerly Twitter. The last lawsuit was filed publicly and dismissed quietly. Let's see how this one go. Been too real for all this lame shit. Everyone know the real problem. With Offset responding directly back, "Niggas act like I'm the problem. I paid millions to get my rights back, and nigga, you blackball me. I ain't said shit one time, homie, and I ain't spoke to you in 2 years. Now I drop, and you want your name on my credit."
I hope one day Big Sean tells this story, but just know Kanye West owes Big Sean a whole lot of money, and he got Big Sean in a very terrible contract to be out here screaming about giving folks their man.
Don't sit here and portray like Puff took nothing from y'all.
Puff is what is it? What is it? What do you call it? If it's 10 years and
when I signed, I didn't really know what was in my contract.
Throughout hip-hop, groups and rapper-turned-mogul-led record labels have become pretty common. From Dr. Dre and Suge Knight's Death Row Records, Birdman's Cash Money Records, to Kanye West's Good Music Collective, rap has always had the stance there's no I in team. Well, at least that's the narrative the culture would like to push. Along with the rise of rapper-led record labels and their respective groups, have also come the numerous lawsuits of mismanagement of funds and artist exploitation. In 2018, Lil Wayne finally settled his lawsuit against Cash Money Records, suing the company and his associates that pretty much raised him for $51 million, alleging that his pseudo-father Birdman and his label had delayed the release of the Carter 5 and owed him millions of dollars due to unpaid royalties. The Atlantic group Quality Control Music was definitely rap's most prominent group of the late 2010s and early 2020s. Much of the label's success is because of the Migos. The group signed to Quality Control Music in 2013 and were the first artists on the label after Coach K. Lee and Pierre Thomas invested in their record label Endeavor. Coach K was the former manager of rappers Jeezy and Gucci Mane, and Pierre Thomas was an Atlanta entrepreneur. By 2012, the Migos had substantial underground buzz. They dropped mixtapes and were working with producer Zaytoven, who, along with Gucci Mane, created the trap subgenre within rap. In describing his first encounter with the group, Coach K said, "His mother said, 'Baby, you gotta go through the side door.' I walked into this basement, and them boys had this little computer sitting on a chair, a makeshift booth with a blanket covering the booth with a microphone in it. I heard some of the most amazing music I have heard in a long time." For a while, Migos were the stars of Quality Control Music, even with additional acts like Lil Yachty and the City Girls. But things changed when Lil Baby was signed to a label, his new star power arguably sucking up a huge chunk of the label's promotional budget. Speculation fueled that Lil Baby's new and burgeoning shine was stealing the limelight from the Migos' older act. Rumors even persisted that Offset got jumped by Lil Baby and his crew. In the hip-hop world, Offset's lawsuit confirmed long-standing tensions with not just Offset and Quality Control Music, but within the Migos group. Before filing his 2022 lawsuit, the Migos collectively sued their former attorney, Damian Granderson, in July 2020. Granderson represented the Migos when they signed on to Quality Control Music and would have negotiated their payouts and royalty rights for the group. In their lawsuit, they alleged the attorney abused his position of trust as the Migos trustee from the moment he was retained as the Migos lawyer, suggesting a major conflict of interest since Granderson was representing both the Migos and their label Quality Control Music. In February 2021, the malpractice suit was dismissed for prejudice, but it's clear seeds of indignation linger with Offset. By the time we get to the release of Culture 3, things just aren't the same. A 2023 Variety profile on Offset reads, "On the album's cover, The three members' faces are fused together in a Photoshop show of unity. But breakup rumors persisted and accelerated last May when Offset and Cardi unfollowed the other group members on social media after Quavo and Takeoff announced a duo project that didn't include him.
Do you ever leave your phone at home by accident and forget it?
I don't never leave the phone at home. I got a wife. Can't do that, buddy.
Offset's strongest asset in marketing himself outside of the Migos has been his marriage to Bronx rapper Cardi B. The duo have had a restless relationship, one filled with love, infidelity, luxury gifts, and a lot of publicity. They married privately in late 2017 after the success of Cardi B's Billboard #1 hit, Bodak Yellow. Cardi B was a former reality TV star who propelled herself from love and hip-hop reunion couches to seats at the Grammys. The couple would have their first child, Culture, in 2018, but in 2020, Cardi B filed for divorce. She would later rescind the filing and reconcile with him after Offset's extravagant displays of remorse. A year later, the couple had their second child, Wave. In the mid-2010s, Nicki Minaj and then boyfriend Meek Mill would usher in the rap power couple aesthetic, but Offset and Cardi B better utilized and expanded the aesthetic's marketing for financial gain and popularity. The relationship's highs and lows not hidden behind doors, but shared on social media for public consumption. A cycle of makeups and breakups suspiciously timed around work or endorsement rollouts. During the height of the internet's PR relationship conspiracy theories, Offset and Cardi B were overlooked when the evidence was there. No one is saying there isn't sincere love between them, but the relationship is equally beneficial strictly from a marketing and financial stance. Cardi B's A-list status and cross-cultural appeal have helped Offset shine within a three-man group and has kept him relevant in mainstream media. Offset's creative talents and rap connections further solidify Cardi B in hip-hop. When reflecting on her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, she said, "I had to get my husband to talk to my label because I had never had a relationship with them. So we all came together to relocate me to Atlanta and Miami to finish my album before my stomach started showing. When I kept seeing the certifications of songs going gold or platinum, I was excited because my husband was out here asking everybody for a feature on my behalf. So the ones that said yes, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because trust me, a lot of artists said no." From their emergence in the rap scene around 2013, it's hard to imagine Offset would end up being the most successful and arguably smartest member. But that's what happened. Hi, I'm Sayou, and this has been episode 4 of The Griots.
What is a griot?
Episode 4 of The Griots. Episode
Who
4,
is a
4,
griot?
4, 4, 4.
A griot
I try to be on camera during all the episodes,
and
but
griot
this time I just wasn't on it.